Divi 5 has been built from the ground up. Now it is super fast, much easier to use, and has an amazing UI. Now, out of the box, when you first install Divi, it has its own basic settings. Now, let's take a look at this. So if you're a designer, you've just installed Divi. Now, in this install, I haven't done anything. This is a brand new Divi 5 install. So as a designer, you're going to start off by customizing all your modules. So you'll come over here and say, okay, this is my text. You come over here, click on this gear icon, and then you go into design. So this is where you start making your design decisions. So you're going to come over here to text, for example, and then you're going to say, okay, the size needs to be, let's say 16 pixels. And then you'll say, okay, so how does that look on the mobile device? And by the way, the new system now in Divi is fantastic. It's now easier to use our mobile interfaces. Okay, so while you're here, you'll say, okay, that looks great. But what about on the phone? And then you'll go on the phone and say, okay, that passes. That's fantastic. And then you'd come over back here. And then the next thing you'd like to do perhaps is maybe you want to add a heading. So you'd come over here and then back over here on your content. The first sentence here could be maybe the heading that you want to add in. So you'd come over here, change this to, let's say, heading 3. Now, do you see how small it is? Now you want to go back in there and say, okay, now I need to customize heading 3. You'd come over here, heading text, heading 3, and then you'd start saying, okay, maybe this could be maybe 32. How about that? And now you see it's slightly bigger, and then you would say, oh, maybe I want it a bit bold. So you'd come over here to regular, and then perhaps choose bold like that. Okay, that looks much better. And then now you go through the whole cycle now of, okay, how does it look on the tablet? So you'd come over here on the tablet, and then you'd say, okay, let's bring it down a bit from 32 maybe to about 28. Okay, slightly smaller. And then on the phone, it's going to be pretty much okay. But maybe you want to bring it down to, let's say, 26. Now, we haven't even gone far. We are still working on just one element on this website. Now, imagine doing this on all modules in Divi 5. Because remember, we also have a button here. Let's say you want to make some customizations to the button. Again, you would come over here, click on the button, and then you'd go to design, click on button here. You say use custom styles for button, and then you're going to start off with the background. And perhaps you want to add that as your background, and then you go to the border, and then you want to remove your border like that, and then your text here doesn't look great, so you want to change the text. So we scroll down here, we go to button text, and then we select our text. Now, do you see how many steps it's taking just for me to work on the button? Now, I know at this stage, we can come over here and create a preset. So you could say new preset from current styles, and then name the preset. But it doesn't take away the fact that you'd have to do this to each and every module, and you have to make sure that your site is accessible and responsive. Now, what if I told you that there's a better way that has all these settings plus more? Because right now I haven't even covered all the settings that you need to do out of the box. You still need to go and set up your colors. You still need to go and set up your footers. You still need to set up your 404 page, your search results page, your blog pages. So this alone, if you wanted to design a website, this will take you days to make sure that everything is looking great. It'll take you days to do that. But what if I told you that this all changes with one product, and this is called the SiteKrafter Divi framework. This framework has all the settings that you can think about that you need to start working on a brand new website. Now, let me show you what I mean. So first of all, we are going to keep this page because we're going to come back and reference it. So I'm going to save what I've done so far. And then what I'm going to do is to head over now to WordPress. And we need to install a brand new plugin. Now this is SiteKrafter Divi framework. Now this framework has everything you need, as I mentioned. So let's go ahead and install it. So we're going to click on add new plugin. And then we're going to click on upload plugin. Now I've got great news for you guys because this framework now works on Divi 5 because the one I released only worked on Divi 4. Now this works on Divi 5, and this is the first video that I'm doing showing Divi 5. So for those of you that want to build websites using Divi 5, because it's getting more and more stable, now it's on Alpha 3 and very soon it's going to be super stable. So if you want to get ahead and start designing your websites and start playing around with Divi 5, this is the right version for you. So you can see here it says SiteKrafter 5.0, which means it's compatible with Divi 5. All right, so let's go ahead and drag and drop it here like that. We're going to click on install. And in a moment, it's going to install pretty much everything that we need to get up and running with designing our websites fast. Next, I'm going to click on activate plugin. And now once activated, we need to come over here to the left, click on SiteKrafter, and then you want to go all the way down here. So this is what's going to happen. In fact, let me explain this. So all our posts and pages, and it also sets your home page. You know, when you install any WordPress website, it doesn't just happen on Divi only. You need to go and manually add your home page. You need to manually set your menu and also what goes into the menu right at the top there. So this framework does everything for you. It sets all your basic content pages like your contact us, your about us, and services, and then it sets your home page, saving you a lot of clicks. And then over here, I mean, this works with Divi, by the way. This works with Divi 5, so please don't try and install this without Divi on it because that won't work. So we have all our Divi settings. Now here, it has free plugins. Now, right now I only have 2, but I'm going to add a few more so that you don't have to go in and start installing plugins, all over again. So these 2 here are definitely going to be installed, which is fantastic. Now over here, it's giving me a check mark because I have Divi installed, which is brilliant. And then all I have to do is to click on begin site import. Okay, so now it's going through the whole process of installing the framework. Now you're going to be amazed by the results here because it is going to set up so many things for us. In fact, even the fonts. Can you believe that once you install this framework, you don't need to go in and set font sizes? It is amazing. Let me show you. So right now it has gone in, it has imported everything, and we can see all our check marks. Fantastic. So at this point, you can now go into plugins and then click on installed plugins. You can go ahead now and delete SiteKrafter. You don't need it anymore. So we're going to deactivate it. And then we're going to go ahead and delete. Okay, so now remember we had a page that we were working on. So let's head over and find that page. I think I called it Divi 5.3. Yes. So now we're going to say edit with Divi. Okay, now I also need to open a few pages here. So I might as well do this ahead of time. So I'm going to open that one, and I'm also going to open this one here because I'm going to need them in a moment. All right, so now, right away, notice what has changed. We have a specific font now that the SiteKrafter framework has installed for us. Now, this is a base font. It is much better than what we had initially. I mean, I'm sure you can see that. So we have our fonts here. It's much better. We also have our brand color applied, and I'm also going to be showing you how this works. Now, you notice this button here has been stylized as well. It's changed, okay, which is brilliant. Okay, so what does that mean? Like, why is this so amazing? Now, here's the thing. SiteKrafter framework comes with a style guide. Okay, now this is something which is very, very important because you need to see all your colors and have a bird's eye view of what is going to go where, what sort of colors are we using. And now we have a dedicated page, so please don't delete this page. So this is where you'd go in and set your brand color. You could go into your action color. This is your call to actions, and it's also known as the secondary color. Here we have your headings color, your text color, and these are your base colors. So this is these are the colors that you'd use on your footers, and these light ones, if you're using a light version website that you're working on, these are the colors that would work on a on a section, just to distinguish all your sections on your website. All right, so now that we have this, what is the next step to making our framework work? Well, let me just show you something else that was installed. So we're going to come back over here. I'm going to go to Divi, and then we're going to go to Theme Builder. So here on the theme builder, you're going to notice something very amazing. Out of the box, when you install Divi, it doesn't have your 404 page designed for you. It doesn't have your search results page. It doesn't have a blog. It doesn't have, all the categories. So all this is done for you. You can see here, everything is there. In fact, what I could do here is to go to a page that doesn't exist. So I'm going to come over here, visit site. And when I go to, let's say, a page that doesn't exist, hit enter, you're going to notice that we have a 404 page designed for you. I'm going to go back to the website, and if I search here, what SiteKrafter has done is, I'm going to say, let's search for maybe the word blog, and now you see we have our search results. Now, of course, there's nothing called blog here so far, so that is why it's not showing any results. But if you want to further refine my search, I'm going to search for lorem because I know I've used this text somewhere on this website. So when I hit search, you can see now these are my results. And by the way, we have a footer now, okay? We have a very good base footer to start with. And all this is in the SiteKrafter framework. Okay, so far we went in and we set up our basic framework, but there's a few more steps that we need to do. And the next step is amazing because right now, our fonts, they're not responsive and also they're too small. We don't have the real size. So let's head over here. So the next thing you need to do is to open up your presets page. Okay, it's there on Divi, ready for you. So all you need to do is open it. Now, when you open it, it is blank, just like this. So what we need to do next is to come over here to the top on export and import. If you click on that, you want to come over here to import. Now we have a file here that we need to import. So I'm going to bring it up here. So when you unpack SiteKrafter, it will have two files. This main file, which is the plugin, and then you're also going to have the presets. So what I'm going to do is to just drag and drop it here, or you can search for it manually if you want. Now, it's important that you replace existing content, okay? It's very, very important you do that. So we're going to go ahead and click on. Now, this page has all the presets of all these modules on Divi 5. So what you need to do is to go in and activate them. So there's two ways you can use this. So the first way is to come over here. So you see here, you can go into this gear icon. And then over here on the top, by default, it's going to be set to your standard presets. Okay, the one that comes out of the box with Divi 5. But we have SK Text Fluid. So this one here transforms all your text into responsive, fluid, and with this selected, you don't even need to set text sizes on Divi 5 ever again. All you need to do is to just go in and start designing. So this also applies to all the modules, okay? So let's say you want this now to be your standard text across the whole website. You want to make sure that you hover over here and click on this star icon, okay? Once you do that, you are assigning this as the default across the whole website. So we're going to go ahead and save. Now I'm going to do two examples here. The next example here is the button. So if I click on this gear icon, again, this is the normal preset that Divi 5 gives you. So if you come over here now, you notice that we have SK button main. So if we go in, we can click on this star icon, and now this button has been applied across the whole website. Okay, so you need to do this to all these modules by just selecting the SK style. If you select the SK style and press the star button, this is the style that will be applied across the whole website. Now, this won't even take you 5 minutes, okay? Because all the modules are all listed here. So once you've done those, now, if you go to your website, so let's go to that page. Where is it? Oh, there we go. So now if I save this page and refresh it, you're going to notice that this text here is going to be updated. Let's go ahead and do that. So I'm going to click on, let's click on preview. That's better. Do you see that? Now this text has been updated because this now has taken on the SiteKrafter fluid text. Now here's the thing. Remember, I mentioned that once you install this framework, you're never again going to need to set sizes on your website. Now take a look at how fluid these fonts are. If I start making it smaller, in fact, let's get rid of all this. It's all in the way, distracting us. We don't need that. Let's start all over again. Okay, So now notice what happens. Now as I start making this smaller, look at the headings. Look at the headings. All smooth. Look at that. Now, I haven't done anything behind the scenes. This is what you get out of the box when you install the Divi 5 SiteKrafter framework. So what does this mean for a designer? Well, this means that you don't now need to stress with what font size do I need to add on my body text, my headings, and so on. You don't need to stress about that because that has already been done for you. That setting is done once and that's it. So now you as a designer, when you install this framework, you are now focusing on your copy, which is the text that needs to go on the website, and all the images. Everything else is sorted. All the modules have the proper sizes, which are responsive and fluid. Now, I'm using the word a lot here, fluid. Fluid means you don't have to adjust anything for the breakpoints. You don't even have to go and say, oh, okay, I need to go on the mobile setting or on the tablet. No. It's done. So this framework is going to save you so much time. It's unbelievable. I mean, a website that had to be done, let's say, in a month can now be done literally in days because you've cut out so much work. You have your templates all done for you. You have your text sizes all done for you. You also have all your modules done for you. Okay. You also have your footer done for you. Come on, guys. This is brilliant. Now, you're probably asking, so is this free? Well, of course, a lot of work has gone into this, and I've dedicated so much time into making this perfect because this is going to work really amazing for small business owners, freelancers, or even agencies. Because now you've saved so much time in starting a brand new website. And by the way, this works best on a brand new website. So every time you have a new project you're working on, install SiteKrafter. Okay, so I have a special offer going on right now. So if you go to SiteKrafter.com, this is the main site for the framework. So if I go to plans and pricing, it is, and by the way, this offer is expiring in about, I'll say roughly 2 days, okay? Yearly, the normal price is going to be $97, okay? And with this 50% off, it's going to be $48 per year. So if you get it now, pretty much you're good to go, okay? Or if you want to buy the lifetime license, it's $137. Normally it'll be $277. So what you get with this? So basically you get community access. So now this particular framework has its own community of designers that are going to be using this. You're going to have access to that automatically. As soon as you purchase this, if you don't get it automatically, just let me know and I will add you to that community, the SiteKrafter community. This also comes in as a WordPress plugin. It has unlimited updates. It has unlimited websites, unlimited support, and this is also going to come with a web design course. And I also forgot to mention, this will also come with some documentation videos. Now, as you can imagine, this is just dropped. So I was working on the documentation videos for Divi 4. So now that we have Divi 5, I mean, I think I'll just make the documentation for Divi 5 because this is where we're all going. Divi 5 is inevitable. It's very, very close. So I'm just going to do the documentation for Divi 5, and I will be sending an email out to notify you as soon as that's done. That's probably going to be in the next few days. Okay, now as I mentioned, this is a lifetime license. You buy it once and that's it. So some of you, probably close to over 50 now, have purchased the Divi 4 version. You are going to get the Divi 5 framework, SiteKrafter framework, for free. This is part of the updates that you get when you purchase the lifetime license. Okay, so that's my promise to you. As I'm making this framework better and better, you don't have to pay extra. You've purchased this for $137. That's it. You're going to get all the updates forever. Okay, so like I said, we were on version Divi 4 when I released this. Now we're on Divi 5, which is just released today. So right now you have access to that. I'll be sending you an email to download it, test it out and all that. But do remember, please, that Divi is still in alpha. So don't go and start designing clients' websites with this. And you are going to find a few bugs with this. Now that's normal because Divi is still in alpha. So there's a few things that still needs to be ironed out until it goes into a beta version and then the final version. Okay. So if you find some errors, be patient. It's not necessarily going to be the framework itself, but the core Divi itself. So you have two choices. You can either use the Divi 4 framework, which is at the moment stable, or you can use the Divi 5, which is in alpha. Okay, but you have access to both of them. So for those of you that purchased the first one, the Divi 4, I'll be sending it out in email, and you can download the second one too. And for those of you that purchased this one here, the Divi 5, if you purchase that after watching this, if you request for the Divi 4 version, I can give you that too. No problem. So what does this solve? As I mentioned, you're going to save a lot of time. You're going to have a consistent website, and your website is going to be even faster because we only have one CSS file that you can go in and make a few tweaks to, and that's the CSS file that's controlling the whole website. Now, you're probably thinking, well, but Mac, can we go in and customize this framework? Absolutely. You can go in, the fonts, the way they are fluid and so on, it's based on Clamp, Font Clamp. For those of you developers out there, you know what I'm talking about. This is technology that calculates the size of the font based on the width of the screen. So everything is mathematically calculated. It's a perfect size. You don't need to worry about anything. But if you want to go in and make a few tweaks to suit your needs, fair enough, you can go ahead and do that. I will be providing some documentation for the Divi 5 framework, SiteKrafter. Anyway, let me know what you think in the comments box below. I know right now I'm inundated with a lot of questions and a lot of emails. Be patient with me because there's a lot to respond to. A lot of you are buying this plugin like crazy. And yes, this solves a very good problem, which is out of the box Divi has basic settings, but this now takes you like 10 steps forward in designing any website project. Anyway, guys, I know I'm talking too much. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.